They said fate comes quietly, sometimes in the footsteps of someone you never expect. For a single dad and night janitor Ethan Cole, fate walked in on a stormy night wearing a torn army jacket, shaking, lost, and whispering, "Please, don't let them find me." He didn't know her name. He didn't know her past. But the moment he chose to help the frightened young soldier hiding in the shadows of the Naval Academy gym, he unknowingly stepped into the life of the Navy Admiral's daughter, a woman whose decision could either lift him out of the struggle he'd lived in for years, or destroy the last hope he was fighting to keep alive. And by the time Ethan learned the truth, his entire fate was already in her hands. The smell of bleach and old floorboards had long become normal for Ethan. It was nearly midnight, the time when the empty academy halls felt like a cathedral, quiet, cold, and echoing the weight of the day. He pushed his cleaning cart past the row of silent trophy cases, humming softly so he wouldn't fall asleep on his feet. Life had been a constant battle since his wife died 2 years ago. Between juggling night shifts, raising 9-year-old Lily on his own, and fighting to keep their small apartment, exhaustion clung to him like a second uniform. But he kept going. For her. Always for her. He reached the gym and unlocked the double doors, expecting darkness. Instead, he heard it. A muffled sob. Ethan froze. Another noise followed, something like a boot scraping against the floor. "Hello?" he called gently. "Anyone in here?" No answer. He stepped closer, raising his flashlight. That's when he saw her. A young woman curled behind the bleachers, trembling, uniform dirty, lip bleeding, eyes wide with fear. She flinched when the light hit her face. "Please don't report me," she whispered. "I just need a minute to breathe." Her voice cracked on the last word. Ethan lowered the flashlight immediately. Hey, it's okay. I'm not here to cause trouble." She watched him like an animal expecting to be struck. He moved slowly, kneeling without getting too close. "My name's Ethan," he said softly. "Are you hurt?" She hesitated, wiping blood from her cheek. "Just a rough day. Looks like more than a day." Her laugh broke halfway into a sob. "You have no idea." She didn't explain, and he didn't push, not yet. Ethan saw something in her eyes he recognized, a fight she didn't have the strength to finish alone. He fetched a first aid kit from his cart, offering it wordlessly. For a moment she stared, then let out a long breath. "Thank you," she whispered. As he helped her clean the cut on her lip, she winced but didn't pull away. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated, too long for a normal answer. Finally, "Emily. Just Emily." Ethan felt she wasn't telling the whole truth, but fear does strange things. He respected that. "Emily, if you're in trouble, I can call someone." "No," she snapped, eyes blazing with panic. "Please, not the police. Not command. Not anyone. I just need time." Her breathing quickened, spiraling into panic. Without thinking, Ethan gently guided her hand to her chest. "Breathe with me. Slow. Like this." Her breathing synced with his. The panic faded. They sat in silence, the storm outside tapping against the windows like restless fingers. Finally she whispered, "You don't even know me. Why are you helping?" Ethan shrugged. "Because someone should." That's when she looked at him differently, like she hadn't expected kindness from anyone that night. "Ethan," she whispered, "if anyone asks, you didn't see me." Before he could respond, the gym doors swung open. Flashlights. Footsteps. Voices. Security. Emily grabbed his shirt, trembling. "Please don't tell them." And Ethan made a choice he couldn't undo. He pushed his cart in front of her hiding place, blocking her from view as the guards appeared. "Everything all right here?" one asked. "Just cleaning," Ethan replied steadily, forcing a smile. "Place is empty. Quiet night." The guards nodded and left. Emily looked at him with disbelief, and gratitude so deep it hurt to see. "You risked your job," she whispered. Ethan gave a tired smile. Sometimes people need a break. She stared at him for a long, silent moment, like she wasn't used to anyone standing on her side. Ethan, she said softly. One day, I'll repay you. He didn't know what she meant, but he felt the weight of it. She left before dawn, disappearing into the storm. Ethan never expected to see her again. But fate doesn't forget kindness. And neither did she. 3 weeks passed. Life went on. Lily's school projects, overdue rent, double shifts. Ethan had almost convinced himself that maybe Emily was just a soldier having a terrible night. Maybe nothing more. Until the morning the academy swarmed with officers in formal uniforms and news crews at the gates. Ethan arrived for his shift only to be stopped by a stern-looking commander. You, Janitor. Stand by. Ethan stiffened. Is something wrong? The commander exchanged a glance with 2 Marines. Admiral Kensington is requesting you personally. Ethan blinked. Me? Admiral who? Before they could answer, the double doors opened, and a tall, intimidating woman in a pristine Navy uniform stepped out. Silver hair. Sharp eyes. The kind of presence that made the hallway itself stand straighter. Mr. Cole, she said. A word. Ethan's heart thundered. What did Emily do? What did I do? She led him to her office, massive, decorated with medals and photographs of operations he'd only heard whispered about. At the center of the room stood someone he recognized instantly. Emily. But not the wounded, frightened soldier he'd helped. She wore a crisp officer's uniform, hair neatly tied back, posture strong. Her eyes softened when they met his. Ethan, she whispered. He looked between them in confusion. The Admiral stepped forward. This is my daughter, she said. Lieutenant Emily Kensington. His breath caught. Emily stepped closer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you who I was. Ethan swallowed hard. Are you in trouble? The Admiral answered. She was. But thanks to you, she isn't. Emily nodded, voice steady but emotional. I ran away that night after reporting a senior officer for misconduct. I was scared no one would believe me. And they didn't, at first. Ethan felt his chest tighten. You hid, he said quietly, because you thought they'd silence you. She nodded. But you protected me long enough for the investigation to start. The Admiral placed a folder on the desk, thick with documents. My daughter told me everything, she said. Including the risks you took. Ethan braced himself. If I'm fired, I understand. I lied to security. Fired? The Admiral laughed softly. Mr. Cole, you saved my daughter's life. Emily stepped forward. And there's something else I learned about you. She opened another folder, Ethan's employee record. You applied for a maintenance chief position 3 times, she said softly. Turned down all 3 because you lacked leadership experience. Ethan looked away, humiliated. It's fine. I just need steady work for my kid. Emily shook her head gently. Ethan, you have more leadership in you than half the officers here. The Admiral slid a document toward him. Mr. Cole, she said firmly. I'd like to offer you a promotion. Full benefits. Day shift. And a leadership training scholarship if you want to advance further. Ethan stared, throat tight. Why? Emily answered with tears shining in her eyes. Because you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Because you showed me compassion when I was breaking. Because you changed my life, Ethan. Now it's our turn to change yours. He swallowed the lump in his throat. And Lily? He whispered. Emily smiled. She'll finally have her dad home for dinner. Ethan couldn't speak. He just nodded, overwhelmed. As he signed the papers, Emily touched his arm. That night, she said softly, I told you I'd repay you someday. She smiled through tears. I didn't realize until later, you didn't save me because you expected something back. You saved me because that's who you are. Ethan looked at her, the soldier he'd helped in the dark, now standing tall in the light. Maybe fate didn't come quietly after all. Sometimes it arrived shaking, bleeding, terrified. and sometimes it came back in full uniform to say, "Thank you."